Well, you win some and you lose some. Good times, bad times. Give me some of that. Hawaii has been an interesting trip for us. It's been kind of a journey. Some of the things that we really expected to like just didn't work out so well, did they? And some of the things that we didn't know that we would necessarily like were really nice. We are on the beach where Lost was filmed, where the airplane went down.
Wait until you see what we have for this season of Garden Steal Away. You'll never guess where we are.
We are Steve and Marnie. This last summer we were scheduled to take a 10-week sabbatical in the UK and Germany. The challenges of 2020 forced us to find other ways of resting and fighting for joy. Our new endeavor is to find and film the best gardens we can find in the US.
I have never personally liked gardening, and yet I have found some of my favorite moments in life have been sitting quietly in a garden with my wife. It's great for our relationship, and it's good for our sanity.
We would really appreciate you clicking on the YouTube subscribe button, and make sure to hit the bell to not miss any upcoming episodes.
Well, after doing just a little Google research, I realized 2 recording locations for the TV show Lost were just a couple miles down the road. And exploring this beach was a lot of fun. Looking at the mountains, seeing this almost fanciful place is absolutely stunning. One of the things I really did enjoy about being on the north shore of Oahu. The next day, after having had 2 weeks on Oahu, we boarded a plane to hop over to Maui. Now, when we were there, Hawaii was still locked down by comparison to the mainland due to COVID-19. And I know even right now, a couple months later, they are still having a lot of issues with tourists and just not having enough resources. But we got there, and it was beautiful once we got to see the other island.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye
day.
now.
Well, the first couple of nights on Maui, we stayed in Kahului to celebrate our 29th wedding anniversary. I have been so blessed to be with my bride for 29 years. The hotel that we stayed in was reminiscent for me of a 1960s Viewmaster picture that I had of Hawaii. So the place was older, but it was clean, it was full of character, it was a great location, really close to the ocean, and the flowers around the place, it was groomed nicely, a lot of character. It was also affordable by comparison to the other places that we stayed. And, you know, I would recommend the Maui Beach Hotel. It's not going to be a luxury resort like what you might think about nowadays, but it's a fun flashback to something of the past. And it was very nice. We were very well taken care of. Now, the road to Hana was what I most looked forward to seeing before we left Minnesota. And while it was absolutely beautiful, I got to tell you, the thing they don't put on the brochure is the 3.5 hours of driving, a total distance of 42 miles on 620 one-lane curves with 59 one-lane bridges is a perfect recipe for making my bride really, really sick. Now, the views are stunning. I got some great drone footage. The beauty of so many waterfalls, and I guess there are literally hundreds of waterfalls that you might see, especially in a rainier season. Be careful where you park. You got to be aware of the locals. This is where they live and they have to go to work. So also, if there's somebody right behind you, pull over, let them go around you when you can. They might need to get to work. The banyan trees, especially the one in downtown Lahaina, they are worth taking notice of. Take time, stop, be still, sit on a bench, sit under one of these banyan trees, and just be amazed. don't want to leave off the 7 sacred pools. Again, a very beautiful place on the end of the road to Hana, but access at the time we were there was very limited due to COVID. But we had to go. I wanted to see it because of Meg Ryan in the movie IQ.
On Maui, they have these natural slides into what they call the 7 sacred pools. And the water is so aerated that it feels like an enormous tongue just licking your entire body.
We are finally going to get to go to the Kula Botanic Garden. Thanks for watching. Thanks for encouraging us. And no lie, guys, it really does help if you would subscribe, like, make comments. We appreciate it. Thanks so much. The other really great thing about this garden that you can't miss is the backdrop. When you look through the leaves of the trees and the plants and you see the other side of Maui through them and the bay on both sides of the island, it's hard to not have your breath taken away. Well, welcome back to another Garden Steal Away. We are in the state of Hawaii. We are on the island of Maui, and we are continuing our tours of the different botanical gardens. I would say that we've had some really incredible experiences and some not so incredible. It's been both, but we're going to focus in on the good stuff. Today we're at Kula Gardens.
I'm looking forward to it. It's only 8 acres.
Yep.
But it's how things are placed for me in a garden is what really highlights the beauty of it. So I'm looking forward to what they do.
Yeah, and we're on the side of Haleakala, the volcano, and you can see both sides of the island from here, which is really kind of cool. One of the immediately noticeable qualities of this garden is the numerous little rooms and crooks and corners that you have to go around, and you see a valley here, but then you see a sidewalk over there that you want to go walk on, and so it just keeps taking you around corners and crevices, and the mystery of it is what's kind of fun.
What's really neat about this place is that the structure is here, the foundation for a lot of beautiful things. There are some beautiful selection of plants and trees and how they had been placed, the varieties of ginger, for example, blue and orange and gold and all the different ones. We're on an edge of the property here where apparently this was a waterfall at one time. And the water would have come over the rock, and then there's these pools, and then this is sort of a bird sanctuary section. And could you just imagine if people put some hours into this and cleaned it up and brought it back to life, what it would be like. So we're going to ask and see if maybe they would be taking volunteers, and maybe some of you would want to come.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care in the world. I was one rich little girl, daydreamer, kidnap me, take me back, all the way back to them days, running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot. No mistake ever kept me late. We spent summers catching fireflies and winters on our skates.
The variety of what they have is really wonderful here. There's so much to be protected and brought back to life. I would love to see people come and invest in this place and volunteer, because it takes years to make a collection like this.
All the way back to them days, running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot.
What do you think of my new hat?
Am I supposed to answer that, or is that rhetorical?
Isn't this a great new hat?
She kind of likes the garden hats. I kind of like her.
In a gown and a crown, barefoot. Have me running around.
Well, you win some and you lose some. Good times, bad times. Give me some of that. Hawaii has been an interesting trip for us. It's been kind of a journey. Some of the things that we really expected to like just didn't work out so well, did they? And some of the things that we didn't know that we would necessarily like were really nice. So I think just speaking the reality of it all is that we want to speak about the good things, the positive things, and the beauty. That's really why we needed sabbatical anyway, was to look into the beauty of life. And just especially right now, mass and doing all that thing, it can be just tough and it can be challenging. But that much more reason why I think we need to be intentional about getting into places like this and just seeing the beauty of the creation, and the fact that, like, coming here, we're looking at plants that are from South Africa and around Polynesia and Hawaii, and plants that we are just not very familiar with. Some that are growing in house plants, but a lot of varieties, things that I've never seen before. So it does help to just bring back and restore some. And it's been a challenge at times. I'm just going to be honest. Let me tell you, The road to Hana was one of the things I looked forward to the most. And it is it touted as the most beautiful road in America? And it was beautiful, but what they don't tell you is that it's really hard to enjoy when your eyes are closed the whole time and you're car sick. But
At least when I'm car sick.
at least when she's car sick, which of course then, you know, that's hard for me too, because I want to make sure that she's all right. So Hawaii's been interesting for us, and it's an interesting time to come with the pandemic, but
Well, so many things are closed right now that should be open and say they're open online. So when you expect, like the road to Hana, my hope was to stop at all the places along the way, but most of them weren't open. So you're driving for hours. What I would say about this garden, it was made apparently 50 years ago as a landscape showcase for a landscaper, and it became a tourist site. And there are some beautiful large trees, a thoughtfulness in the layout, a lot of places to go explore. It makes me sad in a romantic way because this garden has so much potential. And so I'd say it's probably the garden that has the most potential of any that I've ever seen, which is a nice way of saying it's got a lot of work that needs to be done. But when it's done, the things that are here are just fabulous. The structures, the paths, the table we're sitting at, all these things are just wonderful pieces.
as Marnie said earlier, I think that if you have the propensity to want to really contribute and do something that's beautiful and good and just contribute to the beauty of a garden, then volunteering, whether you volunteer somewhere like this or maybe look in your own area and find out if there's a need, and you can learn and you can contribute, and it's something that is needed. And it's more than just taking care of plants, which isn't something that I didn't get before. Now I realize it's taking care of souls. It's taking care of the emotions, the spirit, the ability to see that there's still beauty in all the hard things in this world. Thanks for joining us. Tune back next time, and we'll take you to another Garden Steele Away. Thanks for watching. Fight for joy. I mean, come on, look at that background. Well, welcome to another Garden Steele Away. We are here on the island of Hawaii, continuing our tours of the different gardens. What?
Maui.
Well, welcome back to another Garden Steele Away. We are here on the island of Maui as we continue our garden tours in the state of Maui, and today we're at Kula Botanical Gardens. What?
State of Hawaii, not Maui.
Did I say state of Maui?
Yes.